Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we're going to be talking about In the Year of the Dragon. Don't forget to stay tuned to the very end of the episode for our Pounds and Inches update.
All right, so in the Year of the Dragon, you are kind of going through this year. There's all kinds of calamities happening. There's famine and pestilence and taxes.
It's like 2020.
It's like 2020. We could probably retheme this right now.
We could.
There's like a toilet paper shortage month.
Yeah. Oh, like there's a Lysol month.
Yeah.
Like Lysol disinfectant month.
Yeah, there's like a hand sanitizer, like a stockpiling month.
Oh, a canned corn. A canned corn month. And frozen vegetables.
Yeah, and I don't know, hurricanes and whatever else is coming. I'm sure that 2020 is not done with us quite yet.
Yeah. I mean, we're just entering tornado season.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's going to be a doozy. All right, so you're going through this year. You have to prepare for all these different things that are going to happen to you. Whoever kind of prepares the best is going to do really well. So let me give you a quick overview of what that looks like on the table. So here is the setup for In the Year of the Dragon. All right, so we have kind of our outer tracker on the outside of the board. That is our point tracker. We also have a tracker on the inside of the board. That's our person tracker. That also kind of determines the order of play. We have all of our workers at the top of the board here. There are usually, a young version of the person on the bottom, and then an older version of the person on top. The younger ones usually have a smaller benefit. They're not quite as experienced, but they usually travel around that track faster, help you go first more often. Whereas the more experienced people have higher values as far as getting the actual actions done. Now, as the name of the game suggests, this game takes place over the course of a year, and each one of the tiles down below here, this is a month. So now there are 2 months of peace at the beginning of the year, but every year after that, there's some kind of calamity happening. There's droughts, there is famines, there is parties and fireworks, there's taxations, and there's Mongol invasions. So we kind of have to account for all of that. Each one event is going to happen and cause some kind of either rewards or punishments. There are people like the monk that allows you to score based off of how tall your building is and how many monks you have. You're going to need food, medicine. The buildings help you build more buildings. The geishas are going to give you points at the end of each round. These are going to help you get more money. The bankers, you're going to help you build fireworks. Those are going to help you get points based off of choosing the book action. And these are going to help you kind of advance in the turn order, plus maybe help you avoid some Mongols. All right, so when you take your actions, you're going to take your actions from one of these kind of blocks. I'm set up for a 2-player game, but in a 3-player game, it would look something like this, that, and that. Or maybe in a 4-player game, it would look something like this. Basically, I have these kind of groupings together. I can take my little action pawn, I can put it on one of those actions. This spot is kind of taken. So someone else could go over here. If they really wanted to go to the same kind of blocking as I went to, they can go there as well. They just need to pay $3 to the bank. All right, so as far as the actions goes, this first one here, this one says you're going to get to go forward on the track based off of how many helmets you have. You get 1 for the tile itself, plus more based off of these guys here. This spot is going to allow you to take fireworks, 1 for the same one you have there, plus more for how many firework tokens you have there at the top. This spot allows you to get some privileges. They are worth 1 point or 2 points at the end of each round. They can be very strong, but they're also a little bit expensive. You're going to have different palaces in front of you. Taking this action allows you to add on more palaces or add on, levels to your palace. You get 1 for the action itself, plus more if you have those builders. All right, so you can take 2 money with this action, plus 3 if you have any of those guys. For the book action, you get 1 point for having that action, plus more for each book you have over here. So that can be a really powerful action if you stack those book characters. And lastly, this over here, you get food. You get 1 of these little food tiles, plus more if you have some of these food actions over here. All right, so I'm going to slide up the board, kind of show you what your own personal area is going to look like. You are going to have these little palaces. You're going to start the game with 2 sets of 2, and each one can only go up to a maximum height of 3. The taller they are, the more people they can hold. So for instance, this one can hold 2 people. This one could also hold 2 people if you wanted it to. Now you can build as many of these palaces as you want. You can have 4, 5, 6 of them. But remember, you can only go up to a maximum of 3 tall. So as far as the different months go, this one here's the famine. This says you need to pay 1 of these food tokens for each one of your palaces. So in this scenario, we would need to pay 2 food. This one here is a sickness, a contagion. That's kind of timely right now, isn't it? And basically, this one says you're going to lose 3 people automatically. But for each one of these guys that have medicine, you can save 1 person. So if you have this one right here, let's say he was in your house, you'd have to lose 3 people minus the 2 bowls there. You'd have to lose 1 person from one of your huts. Or palaces, I guess they're called. All right, so the next month, that's going to be the fireworks there. Basically, whoever has the most fireworks is going to get 6 points. Whoever has the second most gets 3 points. And if you scored points, you also have to lose fireworks rounded down, half of them. So in this case, I'd have to lose 2 of them, so I'd have 1 left over. All right, so for the Mongol Invasion, you are going to get points equal to how many of the workers you have that have the helmet symbol. And the more you have, the more points you get. But whoever has the least amount of helmets, they're actually going to lose a person from one of their palaces. All right, looks like we repeat the drought there, or the famine. Then we go on over here to the taxes. Basically, you have to pay 4 coins. For every coin that you cannot pay, you're going to have to lose a person from one of your palaces. Now, it looks like all the rest are duplicates. But really, you want to try to lose as few people as possible. First of all, at the end of the game, they're worth 2 points apiece. But also, they give you all these different added discounts and benefits and points. So you really want to hang on to as many people as you can. Now, the way the game is going to flow is basically everyone's going to take their turns choosing those actions based off of where they are on that kind of inner track. And then you're going to do that action. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to choose from your deck of cards here a new person to get. You have 1 for each one of the people, plus you have 2 mysteries there, so you can kind of double up on someone that you really need or want. You're going to place those people inside of one of your palaces. If you have room, if you don't have room, you can kick out somebody to put, in the person that you do want for that round. The next thing is you're going to do whatever the event is for that month, whether it's going to be pay food, pay fireworks, whatever the case is, you're going to do that action. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to score points. You get 1 point for each palace, plus the geishas here are worth 1 point at the end of each round. And also we have those privilege tiles that we talked about worth 1 and 2 points at the end of each round. So you're going to score every end of round. If you ever have an end of round where you don't have everybody in one of your palaces, let's say something like that, the palace is going to decay and lose one of its levels. So obviously you don't fill everybody up or keep everybody populated, you're eventually going to lose everything, and that's less points and less storage for your people. So at the end of the game, you're going to get 2 points for every person that you have. You are going to get these monks here, however monks they have based off of multiplied by how tall the building is. So in this case, he'll get you 4 points. Then you also get some pity points, some leftover points for extra money, fireworks, and food left over. After all that, whoever has the most points wins. Now this is the 10th anniversary edition. It comes with 2 kind of mini expansions. The first one is the Great Wall. What it does is it adds in another action tile. This is the Great Wall action. It would go in there, and you obviously divide it up like you would the other actions. When you take that action, you get to add on a layer of the Great Wall of China. On the back of each one of these, there's some benefits like food, houses, points. You get to take those, but also you place this on kind of at the bottom of the actions. And we're all kind of built across the bottom there, building the Great Wall of China. If when it comes to one of those Mongol invasions there, if we have built our Great Wall all the way to that point, we are going to get 1 point per tile that we've contributed. However, if we haven't made it to that point, whoever contributed the least is going to have to give up a person from one of their palaces. You do that for both of the Mongol invasions on the board, plus once more at the end of the game. The other expansion is called the Super Events. Basically, there's a whole bunch of these little kind of pie slices, and you put one of them on the 7th action of the year. It basically does something extraordinary. Maybe you're going to score your people an extra time. Maybe you're going to score your Buddhas an extra time. Maybe some of your palace is going to erode. There's one that says you have to return all of the prestige tokens that you've bought over the course of the game. There's all different functions that can happen on that super event, but there's 12 of them in the game. You only use 1 per game, so there's a lot of replayability there. So adding in both the Great Wall of China and the super events is a nice way to kind of spice it up and add a little extra variety to your game.
This game was pretty streamlined. It wasn't fiddly at all, and everything did exactly what it was supposed to do. There was not more, I guess. Like, it was exactly what it should have been with how much you should have had.
Yeah, everything kind of just flowed into one another. Each section of the board just kind of flowed really well.
Yeah.
I like the preparing for the months. You kind of see it coming up ahead of time. Oh, I need to make sure I have food in a couple months. Oh, I need to, this would be a good time to stock up on fireworks. And everyone kind of sees that too. So there's a good amount of, tension and competition for those resources as, coming up on those months. It was really cool.
I like thematically how you'd have the young people who could do more but gave you less points, and then the experienced people who couldn't do as much but then they gave you more points. And I like the tension between that, and especially in between the inner trackboard and just kind of deciding where you want to go. I liked that.
So this is a little bit lighter on the scale of Stefan Feld games. We love Stefan Feld games mostly because there's a lot of really difficult choices to make and really tense, decisions. This was kind of lacking in that a little bit. However, in this 10th anniversary edition of the game, it did come with a couple of mini expansions like I talked about. The Great Wall of China mini expansion is a great addition. It added just enough, kind of ramped it up just that little bit that I was looking for, kind of felt like it was missing to where it ended up in a really good place.
Yeah, we probably would never play without it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought this game played okay 2-player. I would still play it right now with Ryan 2-player. I just think it shined more at 3 and 4-player.
All right, so overall, I think this is a solid game. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I do recommend it. However, I will say that if I were to line up all the Stefan Feld games in a row, this would probably be on the back half of them, of ones I enjoy. Now, that being said, I love Stefan Feld, so in the greater scheme of things, all Stefan Feld games are superior to all other games ever.
You don't really feel that way.
This just happens to be on the back half of that subset of games. So I do like it. It's just I would play other Feld games first.
I think this is like a Feld gateway game. So if you want to get people into Feld, this is a good way to trick them into it. That's what... I mean, introduce them. Yeah, that's what I meant. Introduce them into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching. You want to see our videos as they come out. You want to make sure to subscribe to us under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews on YouTube and follow us under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews on Facebook. If you want to see the pictures of the games we're currently playing, make sure to follow us on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany. And if you want to reach out and chat with us, follow us on Twitter under Ryan and Bethany 1. Don't forget to stay tuned till the very end for our Pounds and Inches update.
All right, well, thanks, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Hey everybody, thanks for staying tuned to the end. All right, so kind of like we talked about and we joked about, 2020 has been a ridiculous year so far. Yeah. So it's just like in, one of the months you have to stockpile food, the drought. In 2020, now in March, where we're at, and when this is being recorded, similar things happening. There's nothing on the shelves at grocery stores and supermarkets. You can't really plant anything right now. It's too cold. The ground's, at least where we're at. So we're forced to live off of the shelves of the grocery stores, and all there is frozen junk and...
You know what has never been empty? The chip aisle.
Yeah, exactly. However, we went to get some fresh fruit, very limited selection. Try to get some frozen vegetables.
None.
Literally, just empty shelves. So, yeah,
I just wanted steamed broccoli.
So our intake has been, especially mine, has been not quality food. Our output has been not good because we're, generally cooped up.
I'm sorry, you were saying like intake and then output.
That's my potty humor wife there. So the phrase I heard online, which I'm loving, but also kind of like regretting that I'm taking part in it, the quarantine 15. I definitely noticed that not only have I not lost weight during all this, it's completely stagnated my weight loss and maybe even regressed a little bit. So,
quarantine 15?
Yeah, so we are hoping for brighter days ahead. Less people stockpiling, and therefore us being able to get out and get some better quality foods. And hopefully, as things open up, we'll have less boredom, so not having boredom eating.
Yeah.
And I just need more on myself. I need more restrictions and more...
It's hard to do that when options are limited, though.
Yeah.
We can get all the chips and frozen pizza we want.
Yeah, and then we eat it all, too.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to us lament. I'm sure you guys are all experiencing similar lamentations as well. Thanks for watching, guys.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.